What's up, guys? Welcome to the new episode of We Need to Talk. AI, will it replace our jobs and end the world? And today, I'll be talking about all kinds of articles and show you why or why not. Number one, we got long haul truckers driving into the sunset. Number two, we got self-flying F-16s. We got number three, AI and cybersecurity. Number four, we got AI stock trading. These are very critical components of the title. So we got first article here. We got Axios. Automation could send long-haul truckers driving into the sunset. The big picture, long-haul trucking is a grueling job with a high turnover rate. Last year, the industry faced a record shortage of 80,000 truck drivers. Driving the news, the study and researchers at the University of Michigan and the Carnegie Mellon University assessed the impact of autonomous trucking on operating hours depending on how the technology now being tested in the Sunbelt states is deployed. They looked at operating hours, not jobs, because many truckers are independently employed. Using federal data about trucking shipments and the operating hours used to fulfill those shipments. They explored various deployment scenarios and how those might evolve over time. If automation is restricted to the Sunbelt states, including Florida, Texas, and Arizona, because the technology may not initially work well in rough weather, about 10% of the operator hours will be affected. If automated truckers were deployed across the U.S. in all types of weather, then up to 94% of operator hours would be affected, the equivalent of 500,000 truck driver jobs, their research has found. The findings are consistent with a sprawling 2020 MIT study, and AI and automation will have an enormous impact on the workforce. It may take decades for those effects to fully be felt. We got article number 2, Defense One, how self-flying F-16s will enable future fighter drones. The Air Force Venom project aims to use test data to train an AI engine that can be widely used. The Air Force is rigging F-16 flying to fly autonomously, but that's not the main point of automating one of the service's most numerous fighter jets. The commander of the Air Force Test Center said Monday, instead the Venom project aims to refine an AI engine to fly a wide variety of today's and tomorrow's aircraft. Venom, in turn, is part of the years-long push to develop autonomous aircraft that can work alongside crewed aircraft or operate autonomous. It's not even the first time the Air Force has built an F-16 drone. They had the Raider 2 program achieve this 5 years ago. It was followed by other autonomous flight efforts such as the XQ-58 Valkyrie and the X-62 Vista, which is basically an F-16 modified to test and train AI software. They're basically like guinea pigs, test subjects, and data. It's kind of like what Tesla does when they have their cars driven by everybody and they have cameras all around the car so they can gather data, which that data is very valuable. So the future autonomous driving can constantly get better and better and better, because without data, the AI is worthless. The goal is not to perfect pilotless F-16, but rather to refine an autonomy software engine that could be useful across aircraft and to develop concepts for operating autonomous aircraft along with other aircraft. Part of Venom is learning to collect data from the aircraft. Just like I said, the data will help accelerate the Air Force's collaborative combat aircraft program, a wide-ranging initiative to test new autonomous and human-machine air team concepts. The goal is to have one core autonomy engine, so we're not investing in different acquisition programs for the autonomy portion of the program. Now, this is our third article. We have from Techopedia, an AI in cybersecurity. The future of hacking is here. How AI can compromise cybersecurity. Using AI, cybercriminals can remain dormant and undetected within a company's network for extended periods, during which time they can set up backdoors to an organization's critical infrastructure. Then, once ready to launch an attack against the wider business, they can eavesdrop on meetings, extract data, spread malicious software, create privileged accounts to access other systems and or install ransomware. So these are some key methods cybercriminals can use, and they are creating deepfakes data, building better malware, stealth attacks, AI supported password guessing, and adversarial networks, GANs, human impersonation, and social networking platforms, weaponizing AI frameworks for hacking vulnerable hosts, ML enabled penetration testing tools. Now, this is how AI can strengthen cybersecurity. AI and ML powered systems such as Security Event Management SEM, Security Information Management SIM, and the Security Information and Event Management SIEM allow security teams to detect threats faster and respond to incidents quicker. When the AI detects malicious activity on a particular IP or endpoint, it can automatically and instantly block the user from file access. Also, read, there's another article there, and here's some of the benefits that AI can bring to cybersecurity: and anomaly detection, identity analytics and fraud detection, compliance and privacy risk management, bot mitigation, data discovery of categorization, breach and attack simulation, asset discovery, policy automation, security orchestration, and behavioral analytics. So this is our fourth article, The Washington Post. AI can write, but is it any good at picking stocks? This is one of the ones I thought was the most crucial because these are our stocks. These are our markets. If the AI can control our markets, they can control our companies. They can control our companies. They can control which companies can be bigger than others and stuff, so on and so forth. Now, what kind of AI are we talking about? Broadly, there are two main kinds of AI being used in finance. The first is generative AI, the technology that underpins chatbots such as OpenAI's ChatGPT and Google Bard. The second is predictive AI, an important tool in quantitative trading, where math-trained analysts sift through large amounts of financial data for patterns and trends to find new trading strategies. And this is Bloomberg's right here, and JP Morgan is seeking to hire more AI staff than its peers. The bank advertised 3,651 AI-related roles from February through April this year. The orange is, the bars and stuff, and obviously they're talking about the jobs advertised. That is huge. JP Morgan is doubling Citigroup, and Citigroup is big. That's wild. AI's, they're getting a lot of jobs. That's, it's pretty sad to see and sad to hear and sad to read. It is crazy. Be careful out there. All right, number 2, we got, how can generative AI be used in finance? Generative AI mimics the workings of a human brain to perform complex cognitive tasks based on simple written prompts. The systems are trained on vast quantities of pre-existing materials and learn how to use the information to craft something new, such as a blurb for a new novel, a summary of a report, a poem, or legal contract. The large language models powering these chatbots can improve something known as natural language processing, which financial professionals already use to parse earnings statements, call transcripts, and other documents to detect trading signals or potential investment risks in the blink of an eye. Whereas older iterations of the process relied on spotting particular words, the latest tech is better at analyzing context, making them more accurate. Some academic studies have shown that. Number 3, is generative AI already being used in finance? Yes, hedge funds are experimenting with ChatGPT for writing code, summarizing research, or producing client reports, and banks are deploying LLM-based chatbots to answer client questions. Bloomberg LP, the parent Bloomberg News, has released a large language model specifically for finance, Bloomberg GPT. So if you guys ever go to your websites when you pay things or stuff like that, or the apps, and you know how you don't get a real person no more on the phone, you actually got to text them now. Those texts are AI. So you've been texting AI this entire time. Obviously, some people already know, especially the new generation. We already know about most of this AI stuff being used because we kind of saw it coming around the corner, especially as a, what do you want to call it? As a species, we saw this coming too with the movies, Terminator 1 through 6 or 7, whatever, how long the series. Terminator 2 is my favorite, by the way. All right, so I was searching around and I was trying to think of like something that we've gone through, something, a hurdle we've crossed and jumped that was the size of AI. And the best thing I could come up with was the invention of the internet. The invention of the internet brought data and information to another human being, from human to another human, faster than any other thing that would travel vast distances. And it's so quick and it's so fast, especially nowadays. The internet's so quick. Videos, pictures, documents, everything, you name it, the internet has it. And now with 3D printing, now the internet can actually build you things. It is ridiculously wild how powerful and how strong the internet has gotten. And then also how much we got used to it, how much we let our kids use it, how much we let toddlers even use it. So I think AI will be the next internet. People will be thinking it's the end of the world, this and that. But when we come together, anything's possible. So I got this article from the USA Today. Who invented the internet? Everything you need to know about the internet, the history of the internet. When was the internet invented? The birth date of the internet is widely considered to be January 1st, 1983, but the road to creating it started long before the technology required for the internet to even be existed. The creation of the internet involved the work of many scientists and engineers. Many of the people who worked to create it having a vision of internet long before the technology to create it was invented. According to History.com, as far as back as the early 1900s, inventor Nikola Tesla had thought of the word wireless system. Yes, the electric car company Tesla is named after him. According to History.com, the first practical schematics for the internet would not arrive until the early 1960s, when Joseph Carl Robert Licklider came up with a vision of using computer networks to communicate. Prior to this, computers had largely been used as mathematical devices to speed up. Technology advanced into the 1970s with the work of two scientists, Robert Kahn and Vinton Cerf, who developed a communications model standardizing how data was transmitted in multiple networks. ARPANET adopted this on January 1st, 1983, and the modern internet was born. In 1990, Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web, or WWW, is what most people recognize as the internet today, and allows users to connect to other pages on the internet through hypertext Britannica. When the internet was invented, obviously with all this power behind the internet and all the information and data you can get from the internet, obviously it sparks fear. Like everyone's gonna have so much more information than the government, and everyone's gonna be on par with the government and other things. And people were thinking hackers could, rule the world or something like that. And there were so many like fear for computers, and there was this new computer phobia that was developed because of the invention of the internet. So I was looking around, obviously, and I found this article. This is from The Atlantic. When people feared computers, when the machine became ubiquitous in homes across America, a new kind of anxiety captivated consumers. In the early 1980s, the age of personal computer had arrived, and computer phobia was suddenly everywhere. Sufferers experienced a range of resistances, fears, anxieties, and hostilities, according to the 1996 book of Women and Computers. These can take such forms as fear as physically touching the computer or of damaging it and what's inside it, a reluctance to read or talk about computers, feeling threatened by those who do not know something about them, feeling that you can be replaced by a machine, become a slave to it, or feeling aggressive towards computers. Humans often converge around massive technological shifts, around any changes really, with a flurry of anxieties. In the early days of the telephone, people wondered if the machines might be used to communicate with the dead. Today, it is smartphones that has people jittery. The more complicated command-driven DOS operating systems. Here's how Google tracks mentions of computer phobia in books over a 65-year period. And you're looking at the graph now, and it's pretty wild on 1983. Look how high it got. It skyrocketed in a span of 2 to 3 years. I think that's where we are in AI. This year and next year might be our skyrocketing, and then hopefully 3 years from now, hopefully, if we're still alive and everything, it starts to drop down after that. And then now after the 2010s, it's almost non-existent. So they don't even mention them in books anymore. In 1985, the New York Times suggested watching computer tutorial videos on television, a less stunning screen than a computer monitor for those who were used to TV but new to computing. And unlike the common floppy-only interactive computer programs, these, with their familiar video images accompanying the lessons, help to make personal computing comfortably commonplace, the Times wrote. Now, this made me think hard and made me find out, what do I believe and what's concrete for me and where my brain and my ideas and my thoughts lie on this. After reading all these articles, and I read more than just these, there was more articles I didn't want to include because there was too much. But I really think this is just like when the invention of the internet. I really think this is just like the invention of the phone, where it starts as a phobia at first, and through time and time and time, our fear gets rid of with investigation. This is what I got after all this. We shouldn't be afraid, but extremely cautious and methodical with our rules and regulations towards AI. Banning it, hating it, demonizing it, or making it illegal won't help or solve anything. Other countries around the world will use it and displace the US or our allies as the trendsetters and trailblazers. We have to control chaos. With it comes great danger, but just like the invention of the internet and the nuclear bomb, if we don't, someone else will. And these are wise words from me. A guy named Jose Hernandez. Thoughts out to him. I am going to quote tweet this today as of the making of this video. So if you see the tweet, that's when I recorded this video. And I believe this wholeheartedly. I believe in the human species. I believe in us spiritually and physically, that we can overcome any obstacle that comes our way. I'm very pro-human, and if there's an asteroid coming, we will fix it. We will solve it. And if we don't, then we're gone, right? There's never been a hurdle we couldn't jump, and there's never been something too hard for us. Don't be afraid. Investigate. And that's the video, guys. And I hope you guys liked it. I have a new series coming out soon. It's going to be a lot better. These videos that we need to talk will only be coming out once every 2 weeks. And every Wednesday, I will try to get you guys a podcast video. And you guys have my word that I will try my hardest. All right, guys. Please follow all my socials for updates and uploads every Wednesday, like I said, for podcast videos, and every other Monday for We Need to Talk episodes. And a couple months from now, you guys are going to get a third series that I will be uploading once every 3 weeks or once a month. You guys, hopefully you guys love that one. And like this video, comment your thoughts on this video, share your thoughts on this video. And please share this video with your friends and family to have more exposure and have a bigger impact. This is your host, Jose, hitting escape. Peace.